So ICADS, index card a day. A lot of you did it, I did it, and I am so glad that I did. I had a great time doing it, and I've always loved working on index cards. I like the size of them, and I personally like working on the super thin index cards. Mine are very thin and very pliable, and I was thinking about, okay, so what am I going to do with them? All right, here I have some laid out, and then here's the rest of the stack. I mean, you guys, look at how many I have. And so it, brings up the question, well, what do you do with all these, right? So I thought I would take a minute, and whether you made these or not, you might still find this useful. And I'm going to throw out some ideas that I think anybody could benefit from. Well, plus one of the things I was thinking about is I wonder if you could make greeting cards. And this is a 5x7 Strathmore greeting card, all right? So let's say you took this, you could just put it right on there. And I think it would be great, you could use some double-sided tape, put it on the back of the index card, and just easily put it on the front of a 5x7 card. That is probably enough right there as a card, but if you wanted, you could of course take, you could do something like, you could continue the lines, you could doodle around it. I mean, there's so many options that you could do, and to turn this into a cute little greeting card. And to have all of these on hand, well, there you go, right? All right, so this class that I taught was about moving from the journal page to wall art. Okay, keeping in mind that you've got a ton of pieces of art, right? So then you can you could say that you've developed your voice through what you made day after day. And a way to look at your voice and to see what that means is to kind of make these little representations of each card, like sort of squint at it and think about it in a black and white motif. And this one is this one where I just sketched it out super quick, and I'm looking at my darks and my lights. You could even put your midtones in there if you wanted. But anyway, it's a good way to get this overall representation of, maybe what you are about. What is your voice about? So I started it with these 4, and I thought, I think I'm going to go through these because I think it's a really helpful exercise, not just from a composition standpoint, but particularly from a value standpoint, to look at your lights and your darks and to think about that in your work and to learn from it and perhaps bring it into other works that you do. And I find this type of thing very, very helpful. All right, so I did 4 of them on this page. Now I got another page ready. I'm going to do just a couple of them on here so you can see what I'm talking about. And like this one, okay, if I'm looking at this, I'm going to squint, and first of all, these darks are the only darks here. So I'm gonna add some darks down here. This is that Jerry's Artorama pencil, by the way. It's called Jet Black, and it's graphite, oil-based graphite. I love this pencil because see how dark it gets. I really like that. So what I think for whatever level artist you might be, value changes in your work is just wildly important. And for me, when I started out as an artist, value changes, I don't know, it was just difficult for me. I got really excited about so many other parts of the process that I tended to make everything kind of one tone. This one's got a lot of nice values in it. But the easiest way to tell value is to squint. You can see, you can tease it out with some water. And I like the pencil because I'm going to hold this up so that you can see this a little bit better. It is charcoal, but it's an oil-based charcoal. So that, I think, is the thing that makes it really cooly. They make it in a couple different colors. There's like a sepia toned one and a white. I've never actually used the white one before. But I like how it blends out here, but it still retains the integrity of the line also. And so I really like that a lot, how it does that. So this is one thing that you can do. So imagine then that you are sitting in the studio and you want to paint something and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do today. And you can go through your book and you can say, oh, well, let's turn this one into an 8 by 10 or into an 11 by 14. Do you see where I'm going with this? This helps you expand your own voice into different arenas. So I thought that that would be a great learning experience from the iCads. I think you're all getting the idea. This is a great exercise to do. I hope you think about it and you consider doing this with some of your small works. You can just do it with your journal pages or anything you think of. It doesn't have to be iCAD, okay? Anything you think of, you can just transfer it over to black and white and then get another look at it. All right, then lastly, I had some that were kind of crappy, and I think I didn't even put them online because I probably decided to put other ones up instead. And I thought, well, I'm gonna just fix one up here and play a little bit. These are the Dick Blick matte paints. I like these a lot. They're similar, you know, the paper artsy or the chalk paints, which I adore, but I happened to be at Dick Blick the other day and I just picked up a few of these. They have divine colors, this dark deep blue. It's kind of like a Prussian blue. It's so pretty in a warm gray. Just pretty, pretty, pretty. So I was looking around and I found a stencil. Check out this stencil, you guys. I designed this stencil and I don't even remember designing this stencil. It's S441 and it has all these little shapes for when you want shapes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, when did I even make that? I don't even remember designing this, but for something like this, rather useful. Actually, it's not a Prussian blue, it's more like a phthalo. I didn't realize this was gonna have that green undertone. Sure pretty though, huh? So you could do so much with this stencil. So I'm gonna just try to fix this up here, lickety split, and turn it into something more cute because I thought it was kind of an ugly little iCad. This is my hashtag stencil that I adore and use all the time. Hashtag is never wrong, at least in my book. Alright, so see how I am just adding just a few little elements, not much. And I really was in the mood for this word enough. Enough already. I wonder what that applies to. Anybody got any clues? Listen to that, right? I need a better color though. I need more of a pop color. Okay, so this one's a Seth Apter S306. I love Seth stencils because he always, the words he chooses are words that I resonate with and I like to use in my work too. And of course, I hardly ever like to use my own handwriting, but the word enough, I mean, I know you all know what I'm talking about, don't you? And then look at these little dots on here. So I'm going to go up and put some more of those in. It's nice. Now, if you take these two colors, you're going to get more of a neutral that rides between these. This orange is reading like a yellow, and the other one is reading like a blue, so you're getting kind of a green. But I think that that might be kind of nice here around our edges a little bit. Yeah. Now, enough did not pop enough for me. So I want to get either a white or a black. Let's see. And I'll just go around it a little bit. Of course, the paint's still wet, and I'm going to crap up my pen if I do it right now. But I think you all got the idea. This is the one thing that I can't say enough, is to make the stencils your own. Cut them up, use parts of them. You know how it goes. You've seen me do it a million times. Okay, enough already, people. Enough. We could even add some shading back in with our black pencil to really make that pop, and maybe add some more black down here. And then, of course, you know I gotta add a little drip here, so I shall do that. I just put a line of ink up at the top, and I'm gonna wet it and then get it to drip down. Love that orange and blue together. And I do, this is a, what is this color called? This is called Flame Orange. It's a Dale Rowney. And oh my gosh, what a pretty color. So I'm just gonna bring a little bit of it around elsewhere to give this, I think it gives it kind of a nice little glow. There we go, boom. And I think it's done.